I cannot stress this enough. Men are not worth settling for in any circumstance, any way, shape, or form. It's not worth it. Like, we're so indoctrinated to believe that, like, we have to get married, we have to, like, aspire to, like, having a relationship, having a man in our lives. Like, the goal shouldn't be to get married, the goal should be to be happy. So if a man in your life is not making your life better, easier, happier, more enjoyable, like, there's no reason he should be in your life. At least when men settle for a partner, they get like a personal assistant, a house manager, a nanny, a chef, a therapist. What do women get when we settle for a man that treats us like less than the way that we want to be treated? We get emotionally, physically, mentally drained.
I have never in my life ever seen a man describe getting into a relationship with a woman as settling, quote unquote settling. This is a term that modern day women love to use, guys, because they're complete psychos and they like to think that if they get with a man who doesn't get them flowers every day or he doesn't make enough money, then that's somehow settling. Truthfully, women also use this term when they're describing dudes who don't want to have relationships with them, which I find to be absolutely hilarious as well. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about modern women never settling. Okay, I'm a huge advocate, actually, guys. You know, I'm a huge womanist over here. I believe that women should never settle. And the reason for that is because I get more videos if they never settle and if they're 30 plus years of age and they start to collect cats instead. So let's jump into this video here. Haven't seen the videos. Let's take a listen to what some of these women have to say. This is the big sister advice that you needed to hear. Let's jump in.
This advice that you don't want to hear, but you need to. I say this from a place of love, and I wish I had this advice when I was young. Actually, I did. It was my mom. And I also know you don't want to hear it because I didn't want to hear it. But my mom was my saving grace. And had she not given me the advice that she gave me, and had I not listened, my life would look very different today. In a really, really bad way. My mom explained it like this, and I'm going to explain it to you. You're like a diamond. So you don't just hand over a diamond to just anybody. They have to be able to afford the worth of that diamond.
Oh my goodness. Okay, she says here, I don't mean afford in a material sense, so let's see if she saves it.
The higher quality person you are, the higher the stakes. But the thing is, a lot of young women, especially the ones that are dating, know deep down in their heart that the man that they're with is beneath them, isn't treating them right, but there's this overwhelming fear of, if I let go, then what? Or he's all you've ever known. And the fear of being alone outweighs being treated poorly.
So this is a whole big thing, right, about how you think that you're above the men that you date, so you should ditch them and you should go out there and you should find a better man because you're a diamond. These women are so incredibly narcissistic. It's absolutely hilarious to me, man. It really is. You know, you're a diamond. You should ditch your husband. You should ditch your boyfriend because you're worth so much more. And you know, women do this and they listen to this advice, despite what this woman says, and they cycle through men like absolutely nothing, guys. You know, they throw away men. They think that they're disposable. They think that they can always trade it in for a quote-unquote better option. And they do this until they're like 35 years of age and they've wasted, you know, a couple decades of their life going from boyfriend to boyfriend. You know, women will be over 40 doing this nonsense. Okay, oh, you know, he's beneath me. Let me go out there and find another man. Can you imagine, by the way, if men thought like this? If men acted like this, you would literally have no relationships left. You know, again, I want to stress what I said at the beginning of the video. I've never heard a man word stuff like this. You know, oh, I was dating this woman, but you know what I realized, guys? I realized that I'm a diamond and she's beneath me, so I dumped her because I deserved better. Like, what kind of narcissistic thinking is this, man?
And not even getting the bare minimum. But the fear of being alone should not stop you from looking for somebody who knows your worth. You shouldn't be sitting on the floor crying every other night. That's not normal. You shouldn't be made to feel guilty for wanting to hang out with your friends. You shouldn't be made to feel like you're not beautiful. Now imagine if you gave a diamond to somebody who just doesn't understand the worth of a diamond. They're not going to be able to take care of that diamond.
Okay, so let's read between the lines here. She's crying on the floor because the dude that she's seeing won't let her hang out with her friends. That's what's being put forward here. So basically, the man, here's what I'm reading between the lines, guys. This woman is a club girl and she's dating Chads. And a couple of the Chads have said, you know what, we can have a relationship, but you have to stop going out there and being a 304. And then she sits on the floor and she cries about it. Okay, if you read behind all of this nonsense, guys, what it really is women who are dating dudes who are not interested in having relationships with them, usually because they're for the streets. Okay, and the dudes, they realize that you can't weed that behavior out of these women. It's too late. If a woman's out here, she's clubbing on the weekends with her friends, you might as well just call it a wrap right there. Like, it's not even funny, man. It's completely over by this point. Okay, these women will try and act like they're the victims in the videos, that the men are controlling, that the men are making them cry. But the truth of the matter is the men don't want to commit to them. And also the women cry when they're told no. When the men have a boundary and they say, you know what, I'm not going to accept this behavior from the woman, then she'll start crying and breaking down and talking about how he's controlling and she's a victim and so on.
And in the same way, when you give yourself to a low quality man, he just doesn't understand your worth. So it's in your hands to want better for yourself. Or you think to yourself, I've already invested this many years into him, so then I need to just follow through with marriage. That's probably the dumbest thing you can do. What makes you think that if your relationship while dating is miserable, that getting married to him is somehow going to make it better? It's not.
It's probably the first sensible thing that this woman has said in this video.
And for my young sisters out there, put down the fixer-upper boys. Ask yourself this question. If you went into a luxury shop, would you pick up a handbag that was dinged, stitches coming out, and think to yourself, oh, it's all good, I'll take it home and I'll just fix it up? No, you wouldn't. So don't do that with a man either.
What is this woman's obsession with like high-end stores and diamonds and all of these things? It's such nonsense. Okay, so don't choose a man who's not at the finish line. You want the finished product. You want the guy who's worth a lot of money. Okay, you want the guy who's already made it. This is the classic behavior of modern day women, guys, is they wait at the finish line for the dudes. They want the guys who have already made it, who are already attractive, who already have a bunch of years, being in the gym and dieting. They've got the good physique. They want the guy who's already spent the years, decades, even making a lot of money. They don't want the guy who's currently working on himself. They don't want the guy who's halfway there. Okay. They want the guy who's already made it. And what do the men who have already made it get in return? You get a psycho woman on TikTok. Now, to me, this doesn't seem like a great trade.
It is not your responsibility to be fixing that man and hoping that he'll become what it is that you want. Leave him on the shelf, okay? He is in the discard pile. Broken goods. Get yourself a high quality man. One that you do not have to explain your worth to. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aristotle, for the video. Guys, can I get a round of applause for dating advice for women? Never settle. Choose a man who's already at the finish line. Know your worth. You're a diamond. Did I miss anything, guys? I don't know. I'm kind of throwing up in my mouth. We might call it there. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.